Greetings and well met. My name is Montessoir and I'm a Chivalry 2 superfan. I'm here to share with you the knowledge that I've acquired from over 400 hours of Chivalry 2 experience. I've played since the very first alpha, and you'll even find my name in the credits as a community playtester. If you learn and embody these 10 tenets, you'll be topping the scoreboard in no time. Let's begin. Counter is king! If you leave this video learning only one thing, then make sure this is the one. You'll want to learn and practice this mechanic right from the start of your Chivalry 2 career. Every single aggressive action you take in Chivalry 2 costs stamina. From parrying to dodging, you'll begin to see your stamina bars deplete. The only way to reliably fill it back up in the heat of battle is by countering. Let's watch a fight in which I counter every one of my opponent's attacks, while he simply riposts. In case you need a refresher, the counter starts in the held block position. Then, all you must do is match the strike type of your opponent, horizontal to horizontal, overhead to overhead, and stab to stab, regardless of direction. As you can see, he lost his weapon, while I was prepared to get in a free hit. This is the power of the counter. Learn it, use it, and win! Taking initiative. In Chivalry 2, simply blocking an attack results in a glancing blow from your opponent's blade. You won't take any damage, but they will still be free to follow it up with a combo. Instead of waiting for them to stop swinging, take the initiative yourself and riposte for a fast follow-up. Attack immediately after blocking your opponent, and your next swing will skip its wind-up phase. This is called the riposte. Let's see it in action. Whoa! That was fast! Let's slow it down a bit. As you see, even though I had a much faster weapon, and I had comboed, my opponent was able to take initiative and land a hit using the riposte. You can also take initiative using your counter. Notice how my opponent appears to stagger each time I counter his strike. Countering hit stops your opponent's weapon, denying them the ability to combo. The last method to take initiative is by using the jab. If you've played CMW or Mordhau, you may be familiar with kicks interrupting attacks. In this game, that function is solved by the jab. Watch here as I jab after getting hit to prevent my enemy from comboing. You have to be right in the face of your opponent to land a jab, and depending on the speed of their weapon, it can be inconsistent, so don't rely on this mechanic too much. Countering counters. When you're locked in battle with a competent countering opponent, the best way to land a hit is with a quick feint. If you're familiar with this genre, this may sound confusing to you. Torn Banner Studios has changed the terminology in their sequel. Feinting in this game refers to choosing a different attack during your wind-up phase. Simply input an overhead attack before your horizontal one is finished, and you will perform a feint. The defensive feint! So you know how to counter, and you know how to feint. But what do you do when your opponent feints after you've countered? Did you catch that? Let's see it again in slow motion. So first my opponent stabs, which I react to with a stab counter. Then he feints to a horizontal attack, which I then mirror with a horizontal feint. You won't have to use this often until you start fighting at a higher level, but start practicing early and you will master the defensive feint. Work those feet. Beating your opponent takes more than just the ability to swing your sword right to left. Use those nimble feet to avoid their attacks. Each time you attack in Chivalry 2, the weight of your weapon lunges you forward slightly. You backpedal just far enough from your opponent's swing and they miss, quickly throw out a fast attack. You'll catch them in their recovery phase and land a clean hit. Every class in Chivalry 2 can dodge simply by choosing a direction and jumping. Dodging can be one of your best tools to get out of sticky situations. If If you see someone is trying to get behind you, dodge to the back or side and put them out of position. You can also avoid incoming attacks by dodging. The last piece of footwork you need to learn is both the most rewarding and the riskiest. If your opponent is spamming horizontal attacks, gamble with held crouch and throw one out yourself. This isn't guaranteed to work, as it is pretty easy to look down with your cursor, but it will work more often than you think. Don't be afraid to give it a shot if you have some extra health, or if you're in a tough spot. Take note that the direction you're moving in before you hit crouch will affect how your body bends. Conquer the kick! Holding block, while a powerful mechanic, is by no means impervious. Aside from the constant stamina drain, you'll also want to be on the lookout for your greatest enemy, kicks. In Chivalry 2, kicks do not interrupt attacks. Their sole function is to break an opponent's held block. If one lands against you, you'll be temporarily stunned and open for a free hit. Turn these nasty feet into friends. When you see a kick coming, don't freeze up, get aggressive and attack. Your opponent will be unable to cancel or block while kicking, and they've just opened themselves up to your blade. Aim your cursor. Just because this is a sword and shield FPS doesn't mean you can get lazy with that cursor. Blocking and landing attacks is very dependent on where you're aiming and where you are in relation to your opponent. When attacking, always try to move to the side of your opponent and land your attack behind their weapon. If they aren't paying close enough attention, you can use this tactic to land a blow, even while they're blocking. When defending, always aim your cursor at the tip of your opponent's weapon. This is the best way to ensure no attack ever gets around your block. Always make sure you're facing your opponent head on and never turn your back on them. Know your weapon! There are 3 different weapon types in Chivalry 2. Cut, chop, and blunt. Cut weapons like the greatsword are typically longer range and faster. They have cleave, meaning each attack will continue through opponents, but they deal the same damage regardless of class, making them typically weaker than chop and blunt. Chop weapons like the battle axe are the middle-of-the-road choice. While generally slower and shorter than cut, they receive a damage bonus against armor and have cleave. Blunt weapons, such as my personal favorite, the Maul, deal the most damage to armored opponents, but are the slowest weapons in the game. They also have hit stop on light attacks, making 1vx more difficult. There are dozens of each type of weapon in the game. Experiment, try them out, and find out which ones work best for you. Team positioning! Teamwork is more important now than ever. Not only to survive each encounter, but also to rack up those high takedown kill-death ratios. See how in this clip I start by using my team's position to my advantage, only to get out of position and get bodied in no time at all. Oof, let's see that on the replay. With the addition of held block, Chivalry 2's skill floor is much lower than either Mordhau or CMW, and as a result, you must employ all of your knowledge in each fight, including against novices. To help ease the burden in the large team objective modes, use your allies. Before you decide to engage the enemy, take a quick look around you. If you have the numbers advantage, get in there! Otherwise, you'd be better off backing away and seeking out more allies. In this clip, I start by heading to the back line of my team. And even though I make several foolish mistakes that ultimately has me downed, because I'm closer to my allies than they are theirs, I manage to survive. With a little luck and a lot of teamwork, you too can survive any encounter in Chivalry 2. Soft respawn! To fully heal in Chivalry 2, you must use a bandage or a special ability. You can regain some of your health just by staying out of the fight and waiting, but only to a certain degree. Unfortunately, you can only carry 1 bandage at a time, and so it is always better to retreat and heal than it is to die and respawn. Take the time to fall back and refill your bandage. I call this soft respawning. It does cost you time, but dying will cost you more. Here, I just died. Now we have to wait before I can respawn to get back into the battle. Let's count how long it takes. Wow, an entire 24 seconds? No one has time for that! Now, let's compare it to another game where instead I chose to soft respawn. Wow, a whole 4 seconds saved, and I denied the enemy a kill while saving myself a death. As you improve your skills, don't wait for your health bar to fill up. Instead, support your teammates and play defensively. This way you can greatly diminish the time it takes for you to get back in the battle. But be warned, any damage, even that from a jab or a kick, will stop your health from regenerating. And that wraps it up for the 10 Tenets of Chivalry 2. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. Once you've mastered these 10 tenets, then you'll be ready for my advanced combat guides, coming soon. Big shout out to TelevatorSK for helping me acquire some of the footage for this video. Check out the link to his Twitch in the description below. Like and subscribe for more combat videos, montages, and coaching tutorials.